single person? Y'all are all gonna be shy?
I got a question.
Ask.
You said you had an underwater certification?
Yep.
Where'd you get that at?
So, it's kind of a funny story. You know, when I first got into this industry, a lot of people just called me a tack welder. Now, I'm not a real welder because I weld art. Now, I build massive metal sculptures. So if you go look at my social media, I just finished a massive armadillo. It's gonna go to Houston, Texas. And then my next sculpture is gonna go to Buffalo, New York. It's being dedicated to the city. So when I first got into it, nobody really gave me the respect of being a true welder, right? I had to fight for it. I had to earn my spot in this industry. So basically, it takes time to get to that point, but I'm trying to find a way to answer that question. I'm gonna come back to your question because I wanna make sure I answer it correctly. Is that fine?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna think about it. Let's do another question because I wanna answer that question correctly.
Okay.
Anybody else got a question? Nobody? Yes.
What all types of welding do you do?
Everything. Literally everything. I never say no to anything. Now I can, but before I did. So now on that question, okay. So now that these are coincide, so I can answer the question correctly. So based off of that, when I first started welding, I was building art with scrap metal. I couldn't afford to buy metal to build art, right? So it's transitioned into bigger and bigger pieces. Now I build, now I buy metal, I've got, whatever. I went to a welding competition. And welding competitions and me, I feel like there's so much more to be taught in a welding competition versus just running coupons and pipe. And so I'm trying to change the narrative on that. So I went to a welding competition, and this is after welding everything. I weld lawnmower blades, cars, you name it, pipe. You'll catch me downhole in the city of Big Spring on a water main, welding a cap on a pipe. I mean, literally do everything. I never tell anybody no. So based off of that, let's go back to your question in the same sense. I went to a welding competition. When I went to that welding competition, they had an underwater welding setup that you could try. I'm not a real welder. Remember that. I'm not a real welder. I don't hold any certifications. I learned everything I know on YouTube. Everything I know, I learned it on YouTube. Everything. So remember that. Underwater welding setup. I was like, hey, you want me to try that? He's like, yeah, sure. And I ran a bead underwater and he pulled it up. He's like, man, Rae, that's a certifiable weld. I was like, shut up, really? And he was like, yeah. He's like, you should come dive and just try it. Now, I'm not gonna go underwater and weld, you know what I mean? There's a dark whole ocean there, and I'm not trying to get eaten alive by anything that's under that water. So, of course, me and underwater welding is not coincide, and I also live in the desert in the middle of Texas, so we have no water, bless you. So, when I tried it, I was also with a bunch of certified welders at the time when we went and dove. Because I said yes to everything, I dove and I got my certification. Because I said yes to everything. I did not turn down any work. I don't care how big, how small, whatever. If you broke a lawnmower blade in half, I will weld it together so you can reuse your lawnmower, you know what I mean? Because you don't say no to everything, it builds a skill set that you don't even know you're building until it comes time to deliver. So that's where underwater welding came from. Now, I haven't done it again. I just hold it just to hold it, because a lot of people are like, well, you don't have any certifications. Well, I got one, the hardest one you can get. That's what I got. So it starts with that, doing all the jobs you don't want to do. Any other questions? Yeah?
Yes. Okay, so we've got a couple of students from Fountain Lake High School right in front of you. Those
Hi
young
guys.
boys.
I know I met Mr. Parker right here.
There we go. I don't know how long you're in Arkansas, but is there a chance that you can come and visit our high school students?
Yes. Okay, so I actually speak at schools. Usually what I do takes a lot longer because I go into full depth and detail with my life. 3 minutes. I got 3 minutes. So I go in full depth and detail with my life, like as far as how exactly I got here. And if you're interested, you should go listen to one of my podcasts. You should go do the research because I promise you there's probably a lot of you that are just like me that come out of situations just like I came out of where I didn't have a fighting chance. And so, because I'm an influencer, I don't take that job lightly. There's a great responsibility that comes with what I'm doing, and I'm you guys to be whoever you want to be with no apologies. No apologies, because you can, literally, we live in such a great time now, and COVID gave us the opportunity that you can find what you love and learn how to make money of it. And you can by utilizing social media. Now also, we're gonna talk about social media for just a second because I got like, what, 2 minutes? Everything you do online stays online. Everything. Everything. And when I say that with my whole heart and my whole chest, because somebody, social media, what if one of y'all are the next Netflix star? What if somebody in this audience does something and a TV show gets a hold of you, but you posted something at a party 10 years ago that's gonna come back and haunt you? Everything you post is there forever. And it will affect your future. And sometimes your decisions affect other people's futures. And that's the truth. So remember that going into social media, everything you post will live there forever. So great responsibility in this. But anyways, I think I'm cut off, right? Dang, I'm cut off. Okay, so if you have any other questions, because I know you're all quiet and it's only 9 a.m. If you have any questions, please come and see me in the Hypercare booth. I want to hear your stories. I want to see where you are going. I want to hear where you're going. I want to hear your ideas. I want to see what's next for you, because there is something next for you. This right here, high school are not the best years of your life, I promise you. It's after high school. None of this stuff that you're doing right now is not going to matter in 5 years. But you know what's going to matter in 5 years? What you're doing on the weekends. Because what you're doing on the weekends is building your life that you're going to get to live during the week. So fight for it. So your failures are not failures, they're just simply redirections, right? So say it one more time.
Failures are not failures, they're just simply redirections.
That was the weakest. That was gross. Y'all should do that again.
Failures are not failures, they're simply redirections.
Fight for it. If you want this life, and if you want this right here, I'm telling you, every single one of you can have it. Starts with your thoughts. It starts with mindset. Your thoughts are energy. Whatever you project into the universe, it's going to return itself back to you. So if you every day when you wake up and you say, hey, man, again, why is this happening to me again? It changes things when you change your thoughts. So go into that. Go into your world. Figure out what it is that you want to do and learn how to make money out of it. Thank you guys.
If you enter the arena, we've got welding beanies for all the students. I don't have enough for you to take a handful, well, they're expensive, because we had to buy thousands of them. So, as you go out the door before you enter the arena, they'll be handing you these welding beanies, and thank y'all for